Now, where are you from?
From New Orleans, Louisiana.
A specific part?
Yeah, the east side of New Orleans.
Still living in New Orleans?
From time to time, I travel a lot back and forth. I got a spot out here in Atlanta.
Okay.
So, back and forth.
I see. Now, how old were you when you started moving back and forth between New Orleans and Atlanta?
I mean, I always had family in Atlanta, like, my whole life, but it was just, I guess it took to after the hurricane and, like, for me to, like, start going to college out here and stuff to really be out here, because I used to come out here with my family, so I didn't really get to do anything, like go to the mall or go to parties and shit, because I was from Louisiana, so it was just like, they wouldn't let me go nowhere in Georgia by myself at that time. But when I turned 18, I went to college in Atlanta, and it was just, from then on, I just fell in love with it, like my second home.
A lot of people from New Orleans did migrate to Atlanta after Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah, definitely. It opened up our mind, because we didn't really go nowhere. People in New Orleans are stuck in New Orleans. Like, it's a mindset. And they believe everything that's in New Orleans is how the world is, until they step out and they see things that are really different.
Do you think people from New Orleans that migrated to Atlanta increased the Atlanta crime rate?
I mean, yeah and no. I mean, crime happened everywhere, so it means like people encounter with different situations, and they get in a different situation that lead to crime. So, I mean, crime gonna happen anywhere. More people, more crime. That's how I look at it.
Now, it seems like there is also a big rivalry between New Orleans and Atlanta when it comes to football.
Yeah, football, definitely.
NFL football specifically.
Yeah.
Whenever the New Orleans Saints are playing the Atlanta Falcons, I don't know if this has happened before, like years past, decades past, but it seems like very recently, the last few years, it's a big rivalry.
Yeah, I mean, that's sports, it's competition, so,
When Atlanta's playing the Saints in Atlanta, it's a lot of people from New Orleans that drive up and
just
come to the
see
game and watch the game, and they book all the some of the New Orleans artists at the clubs for after parties.
Yep.
Juvenile always seems to get booked for some sort of party.
Juvenile always booked, especially in Atlanta.
How is it in New Orleans when the Atlanta Falcons are playing the Saints? Is there a lot of Atlanta people that drive down to New Orleans for that too?
Yeah, definitely. It's only 6 hours. I mean, that's not really that far. It's only like 400 miles.
Do they book Atlanta artists for after parties in New Orleans like they do New Orleans artists in Atlanta when they're playing in Atlanta?
There's a few like promoters that's gonna do their thing when that opportunity come around, when they feel like they could get that crowd in. But other than that, like, people don't really be doing stuff like that as far as like parties and stuff like that in New Orleans. There's not that much going on. But I mean, it's probably had like one or two promoters that might throw something and might book somebody and, have something for everybody to do.
Now, what was it like for you growing up in New Orleans? Can you paint the picture for us?
I mean, anybody from New Orleans will tell you that, like, it's, like, it's just different. The whole city is like a fishbowl. It's already small, so it's just like everybody knows everybody. And it's just like the culture, from the food, from, like hospitality and stuff like that. Like, I mean, it's cool coming up, but it's just like, you gon' get into some shit in New Orleans, like, regardless. It don't matter who you are, you feel me? The whole New Orleans is the hood. Ain't no getting out and going to the suburbs. It's just, the whole New Orleans is the hood.
Looking back, was it a rough upbringing for you or no?
I mean, not for me. In the beginning, everybody had their struggles and stuff, but me and my family eventually got over it after the hurricane. We stepped it up to what we had before the hurricane. I mean, so when I got out as a teenager, it wasn't that hard for me. I mean, I had almost everything I wanted. You feel me? I never, had to go do something. If I did it, it was just me being stupid. But other than that, I mean, it wasn't that hard for me. I was a smart kid, so it's not hard if you're smart.
What was the roughest struggle you had to deal with growing up? You did mention struggle. Anything that stuck out particularly?
Yeah, I mean, mom's almost losing her house, and, by my parents splitting up, like, right mid of the hurricane, it kind of messed everything up, and it was just, we lived in a hotel damn near, for 2 years. So it was like, I don't know, it was crazy. My mom had never really showed me the struggle she had going on. I always saw her, I guess, get out the problem, and I always expected her to get out the problem. So they never really showed me what when it was down and stuff. But you could really tell now that I'm older, now I could paint stories together and understand why we didn't do nothing that year or why we didn't get these many presents as we got last year, you know, so.
As a kid, did you get into trouble?
Yeah, I did. I got in a lot of trouble.
What was the most serious thing you got into?
I mean, it couldn't have been too serious, but I didn't have my parents can get me out of jail a few times, and I mean, the worst thing I probably could have put them through was just, I guess, having them come get me out of jail. I mean, but nothing too serious. That's life-threatening or detrimental to my life.
What were you going to jail for?
I mean, stupid childish things like, you know, assault, stealing, stuff like that. Just childish stuff that I didn't have to do.
Now, what type of student were you in school?
I wasn't an academic student like that. I always passed by flying colors, or if I passed, it was because the teacher liked me or something, or, you know, didn't want me to fail. So, I mean, I was always a lucky student, I can say that.
Did you rap in school?
Yeah, I rapped my whole time being in school. I was the only, actually, I was the only kid that actually rapped around that time at my school.
Battled classmates? Or no? No one
we never had battles. Like, we was like, me and my partners, we was only like the really, like, 8th graders that actually had music on wax, like, you feel me, that was actually going to a studio at that time. So it was different, and people wasn't used to seeing people our age actually in the studio or actually hearing us on MP3.
Graduated high school?
Yeah, I graduated high school.
Tried college?
Yeah, I tried college. I went to the Art Institute of Atlanta for audio production or whatever.
Finished? Graduated?
No, I ain't finished, but, you know, I took what I knew and I made it to something.
Now why not finish?
It was too expensive for what they was doing. They was just teaching us off YouTube and shit, and I felt like
they were teaching off YouTube?
Yeah, so it was just like it wasn't worth paying $9,000 for that. No, it wasn't worth it.
How long did you do? Were you a freshman when you quit? A sophomore?
I did like 2 years. Like, yeah, I was like a sophomore. Like 2 years.
Was it a 4-year program?
Or
was it an accelerated program, like a 2-year program?
Yeah, I think it was like a 2-year program, but I just didn't finish.
Almost done, it sounds like.
Yeah, I was like damn near on the last one, but it was just, I don't know. Shit had happened. I ended up like going to jail and shit, get my fucking door got kicked down and shit, and my mom was like, you know, like, you're doing too much in Atlanta, you need to come back home, shit like that, so I didn't get to finish. Had to go to community college or whatever, and I got like a technical completency or some shit like that, but that's cool.
Does that school, and we're talking about the Atlanta Institute,
Mm-hmm.
How do you say it again? Atlanta Institute of
The
what?
Art Institute of Atlanta.
Art Institute of Atlanta.
Yeah.
Does that school equal to its reputation?
As far as what?
Just in a blatant statement, does it?
I mean, you go in there, you're gonna see like definitely gonna see where your money going, and you feel me? They got a lot of nice equipment and shit in there. I just feel like the curriculum is kind of too mediocre for somebody to be teaching you off YouTube for 90 bands. I could do that at home for free.
So it's not worth it, I'm gathering.
Not worth that much, no. It's not worth $9,000. It's worth $20,000.
What do you say to somebody thinking about enrolling in the Art Institute of Atlanta? Let's say they're on the borderline. Should I do it? Should I not? What do you tell that person? Of course, every circumstance is different, but what do you tell a person like that?
I mean, if you want to know more, definitely go to school. You know, like try to inquire any type. If you're not the type of person that's going to research on your own, like in your free time, then yeah, go to school if you want to learn it. I mean, I learned a lot going to the school. I learned a whole lot. Professionalism on the side, you know. Some of the shit I thought I knew, I didn't really know to the T, so it helped, but it was just too goddamn expensive. So like, it's a decision you gotta make. Like, are you gonna spend this money for this knowledge, or are you gonna go learn on your own and try to get the job with just the skill without the paper? You just really going and paying for a fucking paper. A person that got the skill might get the job before you, and you might have a degree, so you never know.
Do they help with job placement?
Degrees definitely help with job placement, but like I said, skill is gonna beat the degree any day.
Now, you went there to learn audio engineering?
Yeah.
But you're a rapper at the moment.
Yeah.
they're not going to teach you how to rap at that school.
Nah, I wasn't trying to learn to rap, but people was coming to, thought they could come to go to school and learn how to rap and make beats. I was like, that's crazy.
So you can't learn how to make beats there. You can't learn how to rap.
I mean, you gotta already have the creativity. I mean, can't nobody tell you how to do it. I mean, they can show you how to use the program, but can't nobody show you how to be creative. That's something you gotta have inside you already.
So what was the purpose of you going? You wanted to do audio engineering just to be able to record yourself as a rapper, or did you really see that as a real job you wanted to personally do or pursue?
I mean, when I graduated high school, you know, it was like my parents it was like, you know, what you want to do? You feel me? Like, you know, I know you like music or whatever, but we not about to give you no money to put into your rap career. Because at the time they didn't see it was that serious. I really started making money off it, but it was like, you know, but I help you do something in music. You know, you go to school for music. So we went through a few schools, Berkeley, Full Sail, Art Institute or whatever. I chose it, but like, they already knew that I like, you know, like when we was rapping and stuff, we was like I said, we was the only kids having our shit on wax. So we was recording our own shit, you feel me? We started from Mixcraft, then we moved on to motherfucking Fruity Loops, then Pro Tools, and then when we got the Pro Tools, you know, like we was like 15, 14 using Pro Tools and shit. So like when we first got it, we ain't know this shit. We like, that shit looked like Chinese to a nigga, so we like, what the fuck? So we just pressing buttons and shit. All right, this how we record. When we find out how to record, let's just record until we, you know, gotta learn the next thing. Then we learn the next thing, then like, we knew the shit, but we didn't know the shit. We knew how to get by on some like shortcut, how to record ourselves, and then, you know, the guy that actually had the equipment, you know, we fell off or whatever, so we couldn't record no more. So I had to go buy my own shit. So when I bought my own shit, it was just like, fuck, I had to learn how to use it. So I eventually learned how to use it, and then when I went to college or whatever, I was like, well, why not master it and open up a studio or some shit like that, or do movies and shit. I was doing movie scoring and shit. It was all type of shit I was trying to do, you know, trying to make money off, trying to make it useful.
What was your parents' thoughts on dropping out? How did they react?
I mean, they looked at it like, I mean, you saving yourself money. I mean, it's your decision. If you go to college, I would rather you go to college and be really focused. If you're not gonna focus, we're not gonna pay for it.
Now, what do you say to somebody watching this? And before I even ask this question, just reflecting back on your life, do you wish you would have never had that experience of college or that art institute? Do you wish you would have just went straight into the music after high school, or were you happy you went?
I mean, college was my decision. I wanted to like I didn't even really want to go to the art institute. It was just like my grades were so fucked up, I had to go to art school. So it was just like, that was the only school that I really accept a nigga, like, cause I wasn't taking school serious at the time. Like, I was really passing with flying colors. So it was just like, me, I don't know, I really wanted to go to a university. Like, I wanted to go to them fucking frat parties and shit. I wanted, you know, nigga wanted to be around college bitches and shit. Like, I wanted to do that. You feel me? I had partners that did that with the LSU and shit. You know, went to them schools. I'm like, damn, y'all doing this? Like, I never even went on a senior trip. I was always just like, I don't know, I was always out the loop. For some reason, like people started me in private school, and I was fucking up so bad I ended up at the worst school in New Orleans, like one of the worst schools. So it was just like, it was my fault that I didn't, you know, I didn't know college was gonna be all that shit. So I took that shit too serious too late.
So looking back, do you wish you would have bypassed college and just went straight into the music, or are you glad you had the experience? Reflecting,
really.
Hindsight 2020, if you could do it all over again, would you have gone to college or maybe even pursued the university route like you said, or do you wish you would have just went straight into the music like you're doing music today?
No, I don't regret it, because that actually helped me excel more in my career, because I was able to record myself. So like, without me even record myself, like, where would I be now if I didn't record myself? Because nobody records me to this day. So it's just like, I probably wouldn't even have any music. So me learning the knowledge, I don't regret it. I look at everything like a blessing and a lesson.
Now, what do you say to somebody watching this? Kid in high school, just graduated, and let's say they have a passion for music. Doesn't have to be a rapper like yourself, could be another position, engineer, producer, DJ, music video director, whatever the case may be. They have a passion for music, high school just ended, and they got to make the next decision in their life. Do you tell a kid like that, go straight into the music? Or do you tell a kid like that, if they can continue their education and do music at the same time, do both? Yeah. I know everybody's circumstance is different, but generally speaking, what do you say?
I tell them, anything you want to happen, you should want to know everything about. So, even if you know you didn't want to go to school and happen straight into the music, make sure you know everything about the music, the business, or whatever. So, however you choose to learn the information, how you learn, you don't have to go to school to learn it, but make sure you know everything about what you're getting yourself into.
Jobs you had growing up, if any?
I mean, other than working for like the family business, I've been making money off my music since I was like 16. So
there was a family business?
Yeah, I mean, we had a clinic. We had a family clinic.
A clinic, like if somebody couldn't go to the emergency room type of thing, they come to you?
Yeah, like a urgent care.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those look like they're profitable businesses.
Yeah, anything with medical gonna be around forever. People get sick all day, every day. People get pregnant all day, every day. So there's always money in that.
So they owned the clinic? They weren't like an actual doctor or nurse or anything like that? They just owned the clinic?
Like I said, my family, like we started off, you know, like we grew together as a family. So at first it was RN, then it was a nurse practitioner, and now she's a doctor, you feel me? So it's just like, you know, we was there throughout the whole growth, you feel me? Instead of her just going and get a 9-to-5 with a hospital or something like that, we just started our own stuff and she hired her kids, you feel me? So.
This is your grandmother?
That's my mother.
Your mother?
Yeah, so my grandmother, my auntie, all my cousins, we all work with each other.
What kind of doctor is your mom?
She's a gynecologist.
Now, what did you do when you worked at the family business? What was your role?
I did like medical coding and stuff like that. Like, you know, I didn't go to school for it, but she taught me like what she knew about it, and just made it easier on her. I never really looked for any money. I was just trying to make it easier on her because I saw like she was doing everything on her own. So.
Tough job or no?
Nah, it's easy. I mean, if you're a computer, if you like the computer, it's easy.
Any crazy stories dealing with that job? Anything out of the norm?
Just dealing with crazy pregnant women. That's about it. Shit.
Did you quit that job or get fired from it?
Nah, it was just like like I said, I was just helping. You feel me? Just to make sure she was straight and she wasn't overwhelmed, because she's the type of person, she likes to do everything herself. So, I mean, I always had my own thing going. Like I said, I was making money off my music for a minute. Like I was doing, when I was making money, I was always putting my money into my music. Like my mom didn't even know I had a whole song with Kevin Gates at one point for a whole year, and I was just traveling around the world doing videos and doing radio interviews and shit, and she didn't even know what was going on. So.
Both parents in your life or just your mom?
I mean, my mom's mostly in my life. My dad, kind of in my life, you know, something, you know, normal shit.
But they separated, like you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
How old were you again?
I think I was 13.
Hard to deal with back then, the separation?
It was hard to deal with, but, you know, it was, at first, I was like, yeah, my dad's gone. I can do whatever I want. And then it was like, it kind of sat on me like, oh, all right, like he ain't coming back. I gotta watch my mom date. Like that was the hard part, just watching my mom date. But other than that, it was cool.
Did you see your dad often, or did you have another male figure in your life?
I mean, I always been like I've been around my partners for my whole damn near, like my dad level, just me hanging around my partners. I wasn't really learning from, like, you know, he wasn't around like that. He moved to Alabama and shit, so. I was just learning from my partners and shit, like, so a lot of shit I know, like, we either learn from bumping our heads or telling each other from, you know, each other mistakes and shit like that.
But you have a good relationship with both?
Yeah, me and my pop's cool. Me and my mom's cool.
Somebody watching this, let's say they're a kid around that age, right? Teenager, their parents are going through a divorce. Was it a divorce or a separation? Were they married?
Yeah, they was married.
Okay, so divorce. What do you tell, again, circumstances could be different for everybody, but generally speaking, what's the advice there? You're talking to a teenager now that's dealing with the divorce of their parents. Any advice? What would you tell them?
I mean, don't get in the middle of that shit. That's all I can tell you, because it's gonna confuse the fuck out you. Your mama gonna make it seem like your daddy wrong, and your daddy gonna make it seem like your mama wrong. So don't get in the middle of it, because you're gonna get in trouble.
Now, in regards to your parents, what's the worst thing you put them through? Speaking of trouble, was it going to jail all those times, or was it something worse than that?
That's it, just when they had to come get me out of jail for some stupid shit and probation and shit like that. But I grew out that dumb shit. I can't be fucking my name up like that. I gotta grow out that dumb shit quick.
Siblings?
Yeah, I got a little brother and a little sister. They twins.
Fraternal or identical?
Fraternal.
You're the oldest.
Yeah.
Anyone else in your family raps aside yourself, or just you?
Not rap, but I got like famous gospel singers and stuff in my family.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you guys collabed?
No, we talked about it, but she's kind of old, so she kind of forgets. So.
Do you want to say who it is?
That's Irma Thomas.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a famous gospel singer.
What does your family think about your rap career? What do they make of it?
Like I said, at first they didn't really know what was going on.
You've been doing it since 16.
Yeah, so like they thinking I'm just rapping, I'm just doing this, right? I don't know what they thought I was doing, but I was taking that shit serious. Like I said, I was pressing on my own T-shirts. I got myself on the radio at 16, all by myself. I was doing all type of shit. I mean, like, I had my whole school on lock when it came to it. I think when they really took me serious, and when she saw like a check come to my house, and she was like, "What the fuck? Like, how you getting checks from?" And I'm like, "It's from my royalties." And she was like, "All right, we'll do, you know." And then I think I had a stepdad. My stepdad started like, he was like, "You sang a song, All Right Now, with Kevin Gates?" And she was like, "Oh, no, I didn't know." And then she started downloading my whole catalog, and she started listening to my stuff ever since. So she was taking my stuff serious.
What did she think of the actual music after she heard it?
She likes certain songs. She'll tell me like, "Oh, I don't like the way you cursed on this song, or you said the P word on this song." But I tell her like, certain songs ain't for you to listen to.
What about your dad or stepdad? What did they think of your actual music?
My dad fuck with my music. Like he fuck with it hard, like tough, like he be trying to give me gigs and everything, but I would let him know, I got it on lock. But he fuck with it tough. I don't think he ever thought I'd be a rapper or I ever like accomplish the shit I accomplished at this point.
Have they ever seen you perform?
Yeah, they came on shows before.
What were their reactions to your performances?
Like they're very supportive. Even when I feel like I did a shitty performance, they'd be like, "Oh my God, you really did it. You did your thing." So they hold it down and shit like that. So that's cool.
Now you said you were on the radio at 16.
Yeah.
The big radio station in your city?
Yep.
How does a 16-year-old get on the radio station like that? There's grown people that have a hard time.
That's the thing. Like we was like a little group. Like we started at 3, then we ended up like 100 deep, and it was just like the whole city recognized us, and it was just like we was making noise. And they had like people were 24, 25 at that time, and they like drug dealers putting money into their music type shit, and like trying to keep up with us kids, like just pumping out shit in school and on the internet and shit. That piff at the time, like, you feel me? It was just like, I don't know. We always had some shit that stood out, and they couldn't ignore it. It was just like, oh, we was cash crooks and shit like that at the time.
That was the group name?
Yeah, and we was just popping. Like,
why'd you break up?
It was just everybody wanted to be the boss. You feel me? And some people don't like to feel inferior to others and shit like that. So everybody want to start their own thing. You can't blame a man for wanting to start their own thing, though. You
wanted to start your own thing too, or did you try to keep it together?
I'm the one that started Cash Crooks. It was just, I guess, I was making all the moves and shit. So it was just like, I was getting T-shirts printed, I was getting CDs printed, I was getting the graphic art, I was mixing, I was doing damn near everything. All it was damn near doing was just rapping and showing up to the shows. So it was just like, all right, I don't have a problem with doing everything because I like shit done right. So I'll do the shit. But it's just like people go to feeling like, oh, they entitled to certain, like when they ain't putting no work. So I'm like, well, y'all just do y'all own thing. And I kept doing my thing. And me and my producer, we kept working. Motherfucker, we getting placement after placement, meeting people after people. One of my partners went to Force in Florida. I went to our institute, so we both getting connections and shit like that. So it worked out.
Are you still cool with those group members today, or no?
I mean, our families are close at the end of the day. Like, even though we might get in this shit, like, our family's still close, so we can't be beefed out or nothing like that. We mutually cool though. It ain't no buddy shit every day, but it's mutual, cordial.
We spoke about a variety of subjects in regards to your upbringing, but overall speaking, what's your message to the youth? What would you tell them today?
The message to the youth?
Yeah, generally speaking.
Don't be listening to all these rappers because they be lying and be who you want to be. You feel me? Don't be who you want to see on TV. Because I got a little cousin, and he came up to me 2 days ago and told me, Tre, I want to be a super trapper. And I said, super trapper, that's the name of Future song. And I go, do you know what a super trap is? No, I just want to be one. No, you don't. So kids, be who you really, truly, who you want to be. If you like basketball, go play basketball. Like, you feel me? The streets ain't for everybody. Sometimes you can play the sidewalk, my nigga, and still be cool, you feel me? Don't be following these niggas, 'cause you gonna fuck yourself up. Half of these niggas do not be doing the shit they be saying, you hear me? Because I used to be that way. I used to be, you know, like now I'm doing the shit that I asked to rap about, and I'm like, man, these niggas not even doing it, and I was trying to be like them. You hear me? I was getting money to be like these niggas, so these niggas ain't doing that shit, bro, so don't even waste your time.
You said a lot of these rappers are lying. In your experience from what you've seen, if you could put a percentage, what would you say is the percentage of rappers lying? And you're talking about in their music, I'm assuming.
Lying, period, just fake, period, just.
Okay, lying, fake, period. What would you say is the percentage of this going on?
90% of Hollywood.
90% of these rappers are lying.
Yeah,
10 are keeping it real.
Man, because once these labels ought to know everything is an image, bro, and these rappers know everything is an image. And niggas be getting tats in their face just like in jail. Niggas get tats in their face just to make themselves feel like a man and make another man scared of them. That don't mean that nigga he bigger than you. You feel me? People get tats in their face and shit, and they be feeling like, oh, I won't be like him. He getting money. I gotta tap my face up to get money now. You feel me? Like. You just gotta peep how niggas be moving, and half of these niggas don't be living what they be talking about. So it just be like, I don't know, they be setting a bad example. I can't blame another man for, you know, getting his money, but you know, you got people that's looking up to you, at least tell them the truth. Or at least live up to what you're doing.
Are you tattoo free?
No, I got a sleeve.
Oh.
I'm not touching my face.
Oh, okay.
I got a baby face, man. These holds up my face, bro.